using delay can help to add some movement and dynamics to your mix, but it can definitely be overdone. It can cloud stuff up and get in the way of your vocals and sound messy and all kind of nastiness. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. What up, YouTube? This is Wavy Wayne back again. Sorry for the wait, the delay. Here's a video on about how I like to use a delay in a mix, how to make it sit perfectly in a mix, some things we can do to make it work for you and not against you, all right? So let's check out this record I got. Shout out to Coal Mine for letting me use this record. I'm gonna play the hook of this record. We're gonna hear what I already did, and then I'm gonna break it down, deconstruct everything, and go through it that way, okay? So let's get into it. Let's start off by just listening to this hook.
So every day I'm high off the drugs. Can't feel my face, can't feel my soul. I can't feel my mind, think my mind's gone, yeah. Satan trying to convince me wrong, but God got my back, he know I'm standing strong, yeah. Can't feel my face, can't feel my soul. Can't feel my mind, think my mind gone, yeah. Satan trying to convince me wrong, but God got my back, he know I'm standing strong, yeah. Feeling so low and hard.
All right, so we can hear that delay there. And actually, to do this, I'm gonna mute these background vocals. If y'all wanna know what I did to those background ad-libs, leave a comment below and I'll give you some insight on those on another video if enough of y'all wanna see that, all right? But here's what I did with that delay, okay? So again, let's just see what I have going on this vocal. Let me hear it without that background real quick.
Can't feel my face, can't feel my soul. I can't feel my mind, think my mind's gone, yeah. Satan trying to convince me wrong, but
okay. So I actually have two delays going on here, okay? I have a quarter note delay and I have an eighth note delay, both of them working together. So let's see what's going on here. With my eighth note delay, it's pretty much staying constant in volume and going on through the whole time. My quarter note delay, I'm automating that delay to just come on certain parts or ends of the phrases and so forth, okay? Let's go ahead and listen to this without both of these delays. So I'm just going to mute that and then let's mute this eighth note delay.
can't feel my face, can't feel my soul. I can't feel my mind, think my mind's gone, yeah. Satan trying to convince me wrong, but
so all we're hearing there is the reverb on there. Now let's listen to what some of this eighth note delay sounds like when I bring that in.
Can't feel my face, can't feel my soul. I can't feel my mind, think my mind's gone, yeah.
So if you notice, that eighth note delay is really subtle. It's not very prominent. It's just creating a width and a space for that vocal. All right, if I turn this up, we'll be able to hear a little more on what it's doing.
Can't feel my face, can't feel my soul. I can't feel my mind, think my mind's gone, yeah. Same.
Okay, so we hear that. Okay, now let's go over to the actual eighth note delay channel. And if you're interested in how I set up my send and returns for my time-based effects, I just dropped a reverb video where I show up how to set up the send and return. Check that video out. It has the same steps on how to set up this delay, okay? As far as the routing aspect of it. Now, once I come over here to this delay, a couple things we can see here. I'm using a H delay, and I have the ping pong effect on there. So what that's going to do is just kind of have that delay bouncing back and forth between my left and right speakers as it is delaying, which is really cool. Now, if you don't have the H delay and you're doing this with a stock plugin, then what you probably want to do is set one side of your delay to have like a quarter note setting and the other one maybe an eighth note setting, and that will give you a ping pong effect as well. All right. I'm also using a short feedback. Now on a delay, the feedback determines how many repeats you're going to get. If my feedback was too long, again, that would make that delay go off into the next verse or phrase or whatever, the next line, and just kind of, it can start to muddy things up there. So we don't want to do that. So let's just listen to what we have again.
I can't feel my face, can't feel my soul. I can't feel my mind, think my mind's.
So that's that delay. Now, one of the big things that I did with this delay is use the filters. Now, every time I use a delay, I use the filters. Without the filters, we get something that sounds like this.
I can't feel my face, can't feel my soul.
Now that's going to get really annoying, but and it's a little bit too much, especially on the high frequencies. If I want that delay to sit back in the mix a little bit more and just be more of a feeling versus something so prominent, the filters are going to really help that, especially the low pass filter, where we're going to roll off some of those high frequencies, and that immediately is going to push that delay back.
I can't feel my face, can't feel my soul. I can't feel my mind, think my mind's gone, yeah. Satan trying to convince me wrong, but God got my back, he know I'm standing strong, yeah.
See, I like that better. And then we'll just simply tuck that back down into the mix where it sounded better.
I can't feel my face, can't feel my soul. I can't feel my mind, think my mind's gone, yeah. Satan trying to convince me wrong, but God.
See, I don't really want to hear it. I really just want to kind of feel that vocal.
I can't feel my face, can't feel my soul. I can't feel my mind, think my mind's gone, yeah. Satan trying.
It just helps that vocal that helps us fill up the speakers a little bit more, all right? So that's a little eighth note delay. I like to use that on vocals, hip hop vocals, R&B vocals. But the important thing to remember about that is to keep the feedback time very short, all right? And also roll off those high and low frequencies, especially the high frequencies, to just make that delay sound a lot more mellow, okay? Now, let's go over to my quarter note delay, and let's take this off mute. And when we play this, what we'll notice is that there is automation happening on this quarter note delay. Of course, the quarter note delay is a little longer than the eighth note delay, so we don't want that to that'll really start to cause some problems if we had that on the whole time throughout this vocal.
I can't feel my face, can't feel my soul. I can't feel my mind, think my mind's gone, yeah. Satan trying to convince me wrong, but God got my back, he know I'm standing strong, yeah.
Cool. So and with my quarter note delay, another thing here that I'm doing, let's go over to my mix window here. So again, with the quarter note delay, I am using the H delay plugin. If you use Waves, this is one of my favorite delay plugins. And if you're using one of my templates, then you'll definitely see this delay plugin in there. But again, this can work with any delay plugin that you have, even the stock plugin. The key to using the delay properly though, the major key is making sure that your session's tempo is locked in, all right? Now, I've already locked my session tempo to grid, and I do this using Identify Beat every single time before I start a session. So check out my video. I'll leave a link on how to use Identify Beat to find your session's tempo if you don't know how. So you see the delay works off the session tempo. So I'm using that. I'm not using the ping pong effect on this one because that can get a little bit too weird. But I am using my filters again. And you can also add an EQ if these filters are a little confusing for you. You can just insert an EQ directly on this delay track and accomplish the same thing by rolling off the high frequencies and the low frequencies. But since they have these filters built in, I just use these right on the plugin. It just makes life a little bit easier. Yeah, that is that.
Satan trying to convince me wrong, but God got my back, he know I'm standing strong, yeah.
So let's just go over how I would set up this automation. So I'm gonna go back to my edit window. We're gonna change the track view over to my delay, send a delay automation level. Oops. And you can see where I've done the automation at, but we'll just delete this pass and we'll do it together. Okay, so I'm just gonna open up my delay send, and then we're gonna activate touch. Excuse me. Then we're gonna activate touch automation mode. And then as I'm playing, as the track is playing, I'm going to simply raise up the delay where I feel like I want to hear that quarter note, probably like at the end of each phrase where there's that space, and this is gonna help to fill that in.
So every day I'm high off the drugs. I can't feel my face, can't feel my soul. I can't feel my mind, think my mind's gone, yeah. Satan trying to convince me wrong, but God got my back, he know I'm standing strong, yeah. Can't feel my face, can't feel my soul. Can't feel my mind, think my mind gone, yeah. Satan trying to convince me wrong, but God got my back, he know I'm standing strong, yeah. Feeling so low and nowhere to go.
All right, and just that easy, that's how you would automate your delay. And then you just change this back to read mode, and you can easily just change that back to the waveform view. Do you have any other tips on how to get the perfect delay sound? If you do, leave them in the comments below and share them with us all, baby. Also, if you haven't already joined the Wavy Seals army of producers and engineers, then click the link below and do that right now. For professional mixing services, feel free to shoot me an email or visit my website, wavywayne.com, where you can comp custom templates just like the one I just used today and more. Don't forget to be dope, cuz.